Hey there and welcome back to my channel. This is Natasha from Crafting Extreme Love and I am so excited for today's video. I will be using the brand spanking new stamp sets from Kellie Stamps that are released in her shop today. I will be using planner vibes and good vibes in my layout today. If you are interested in checking out either of these two stamp sets or perhaps both, and the other stamps that were released today, there is a link that will take you directly to Kellie's shop along with a discount code just for you to be able to save a little extra money, which we can all use during the holiday season. So treat yourself, treat a crafty friend. These are two sets that you definitely do not want to miss out on. For today's process video, it is all about repurposing and redating old planner pages. Now here I have an old happy planner. I want to say that this is either from 2018 or 2019 that I never used, but I am a fan of the happy planner paper and I do like the colors. This blush pink is pretty cute. And I'm gonna say this is a fairly neutral planner page that could be used for the future, which I'm gonna show you how to do today. With the new year fastly approaching upon us, I know that many of us are thinking about our goals for the upcoming year, and I know for me, part of my goals and reflection, I always include creative goals. So maybe for some of you, you're interested in starting memory planning, but you're unsure if you should purchase a new planner to dedicate to this, as you're unsure you'll even like this format. But I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you have an old planner laying around with some empty pages in it. So this video is going to show you one way that you can reuse, repurpose by redating. And today I'm going to be using this super cute stamp set from Kellie Stamps to redate these pages. First off here, I am getting my photos down. I print my photos using a Canon Selphy. I do use the app called Pic Frame to size my photos in the sizes that you see here that I'm using. I do really enjoy using different size photos. I think it makes things interesting. And especially as I'm very much about working outside of the box and the grid of the vertical format, it's like even more fun and interesting to me to mix it up with the sizes. So I cut out all my photos with a paper trimmer, and I have my main elements glued down at this point. I have used my Happy Planner punch. This is a Happy Planner in the classic size. So I punched out some full boxes from pattern paper to provide some visual interest. And my goal here is to pull in all these different colors throughout the spread. Now my idea in being able to redate old planner pages in a creative way is by using circular elements. So as you see here, I am placing and kind of moving and around different pieces to see how I would like them. I have used two different size circle punches and just punched a ton of different sizes, well actually just two sizes, but out of a bunch of different pattern papers. And I am arranging them in a way that I think looks pleasing to the eye. I have staggered them in different directions as I felt like that was just kind of almost like I casually threw them down and they all landed beautifully on the paper. So I am going to use these smaller circles for my dates. Now I have written in pencil, just like M for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, so on. And it's kind of humorous because despite doing that, I do get confused, which you'll see later on here. But I definitely had the intention of trying to not confuse myself. So I've got them all laid out here. I am using this Versafine Black Ink. It is my absolute go-to for black ink. This is like the very first ink pad that I purchased, and I have stuck with it. I think it's fantastic. If you are a beginner or you're, a little more advanced than a beginner, as I would say I am, I think that this is a really forgiving black ink, and it does really well with fine details like you will see in these stamps that I'm using today. As you can see from the stamp set that's right there, it has the days of the week along with a few other planner-like text that you would want to use along with the numbers, but there are these super cute decorative elements, and I am using a lot of fun, bright colors. But the really cool thing with a stamp set like this is, depending on the colors that you are using in your ink and your papers, can really generate the vibe and the look that you're going for. I could see this being super cute with that aesthetic vibe with a lot of warm earthy tones. I think that would be super adorable as well. I am gonna share a planner layout that I used with the same stamp set but holiday themed next week, so stay tuned for that. To keep this interesting, I thought it would be fun to stamp out a variety of different elements in the background of the patterned paper, as I think that just adds to more fun and the overall cuteness of the layout. So I am using the Evergreen Bough, I want to say that's how you pronounce that, Distress Oxide from Tim Holtz. I wanted to pull in this kind of sage greeny color that you can see in that fern patterned paper right there. I think it kind of balances out the really bright pinks and yellows that are on the pages as well. And also I am going to stamp over this, so I felt like the green is like a nice additional color, but it's not going to be overbearing. So I've got my pattern here going on the patterned papers that I'm going to use as my days of the week marker. And I am going to be stamping each day of the week with the Versafine ink and then adding the date to them. With the magical powers of editing here, I am speed stamping, but truly that is not always the case. I really like this typewriter font. It's one of my favorites, so I really like that these numbers are small enough that you could probably use in a variety of planners. Definitely use a personal size, a mini happy planner, but here's an example. This is a, I would say a planner that's on the larger size, an HP Classic, and it's totally doable, especially when you create these visual elements to add to it. I think that it would be super cute and applicable in almost all planner setups that you may be using. Next up, I will be going ahead and gluing down my circular elements that I'm going to use to repurpose this page. So I am taking these different circular elements and I'm gluing them down. I am using one of my favorite type of glues, and I'll go ahead and list it below. I'm blanking on the name right now, but I've got that in that fine tip bottle applicator, and I have to say it really helps a clumsy crafter like myself, because just obviously a little bit is going to come out due to that fine tip. I've used the regular like bottle that the glue comes in, and it has gotten quite messy, so this definitely helps out. I did decide to use glue instead of like a adhesive tape because I did want the flexibility to be able to move things around. As you see that I'm kind of fussing with those to make sure, not that they're perfect, but that they're somewhat in a straight line the days of the week, even though there is quite like a whimsical order with the big circles. This part was my test to see if my stamping goof was really going to drive me nuts, but honestly, once I stuck it down and added that kind of fern leaf pattern to it, I was like, this is no big deal. I think that done is better than perfect, and I am really working hard to complete my memory planner this year prior to the end of the year. I feel like I am one of those people where the clock strikes midnight on December 31st, and as much as I tell myself I'm gonna do it, I never go back and finish old projects. So when I've got the gusto and the energy to do it, I'm gonna do it. And I've learned that I could fuss over this stuff forever and ever and ever, and it would never truly be perfect because I'm just not that type of crafter or that type of person for that matter. So I just stick it down, and I ended up loving the final result. I think that this is such a fun way to reuse old planner pages. I think that the circular elements are just really fun and playful, and really also works with this stamp set that is just so versatile, and these like really fun colors too. It's just a really great way to remember and document these everyday joys. I am now working on adhering the remainder of my photos. I am using a Tombow adhesive roller here, as I have recently ran out of adhesive in my ATG gun, and at first I have to say that monster was so intimidating, but it's really grown on me quite a bit, and I'm gonna say that the stickiness of it I think is really phenomenal. And using these smaller tape rollers, I don't know, it feels a little wimpy compared to the adhesive that is in those adhesive tape runner guns. So I wanted to conceal that bottom strip there. If you don't have a ton of ephemera lying around, you could also use washi tape. You could put down a bit of whiteout and then cover it with the washi if it is a lighter color or lighter pattern. I've totally done that before in the past and it works out great. You could never tell. Like, I think right there it just works really well. Now I did want to bring some of those circles down to the bottom of the page to kind of balance things out and have your eye kind of move around the page, which is always important to me because I think it just makes the layouts turn out really like pleasing to the eye. Now with all of my photos adhered down, I am going back and adding in some stamping elements. I felt that these were really simple, beautiful floral doodles is something that I wanted to add in and wanted to repeat that to once again kind of have those design elements that have your eye carry throughout the page. And now I'm going to add another of this fern doodle here as well. I'm going to end up going with it on the upper corner to go ahead and conceal those lingering dates. And I think I did a pretty good job of concealing it up. You could add another circle there and completely cover that top if that is important to you. I did want to add a little bit of white space showing through so it wasn't like too overbearing with the circles. So I'm adding a few more stamping elements. I really like this Grateful and Good Vibes stamps that are in that Planner Vibe stamp set. At this point, I'm going to snag two of the stamps that are from the Good Vibes stamp set, and this Perfectly Imperfect is just one of my, actually I'm going to say I think that this is my most favorite stamp out of this release. I think that I am perfectly imperfect, and I want to say that my little puppy Pooch, she is that way too. We are both flawed in a lot of ways, but at the end of the day, I think our flaws are part of what makes us human and makes us who we are. Another stamp set or stamp piece in these kits that I just love are these little dots. I feel like I'm gonna use this over and over and in every single project because they're so cute. I am gonna go ahead now and put September or Sept to abbreviate. I have included this alpha letter plastic surgery that I chose to do. I think it comes out quite well in the end. I did not have any E's left, but I did really want to stick to using a black alpha. So I used a J and trimmed it down to make my E there, and it kind of worked out. I'm just getting innovative with my supplies. I am moving on to the final stages. I've got all of my stamping down, and I'm pretty much done with everything. It was just the journaling that I had left. And I have to tell you my secret when it comes to memory planning, really any type of memory keeping in general, the journaling is always so hard for me. And I have to say that these like white boxes intimidate me. I do not write in a straight line. So I already kind of struggle to journal on my memory keeping projects, and then the straight line, the plain white paper with no straight lines just stresses me out because I know I can never write in a straight line. So I decided that I would include this portion of the process. So I have been using this sticker pack from the Happy Planner. I want to say this is called Colorful Boxes, and I have been using their box stickers to add in little sections of either lines or dot grid to help give me that little bit of structure that makes me feel a bit more comfortable in moving forward in actually writing and getting it done and calling it done. I have a lot of layouts from the beginning of the year that I never did the journaling right away, and I still have not done the journaling. So this is a habit that I'm really trying to be disciplined about, so that way I can leave my craft table and it is all complete. I really hope that you enjoyed this process video today and this super cute and versatile stamp set from Kellie Stamps, the Planner Vibes set. If you are interested, like I mentioned in the intro, there is a link below to her shop along with a code that also lets Kellie know that I sent you over to her shop, which also helps me out. So I appreciate you using my link and code below. If you have any questions on my process that I did here today and shared with you all, please don't hesitate to drop me a question down in the comments below. I will do my best to answer any questions that you may have. If you did enjoy this video, please give it a thumbs up. That's a great way to let me know. And as I'm just starting my channel too, this allows the YouTube algorithm to recognize like, hey, this is not a terrible video. We should share this with others. And if you are interested in this type of content, please consider subscribing. Thanks so much. Until next time, take care.